I'm Sori.
That's Sparky. Alright, so this is Aeon Blue Apocalypse. Eon Blue Apocalypse, whatever.
A groan of tedium escapes me, startling, fearful. Is this a test? It has to be, otherwise I can't go on. Draining patience, drained vitality, this paranoid, paralyzed vampire rocks a little Gonna wait it out. Gonna wait it out. Wait it out.
Jeez. So that was The Patient. So it went from, that little interlude, Eon Blue Apocalypse, into The Patient.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that was 2 and 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That little instrumental, there's a Untouchables, it's a Korn record that came out in 2005, I want to say, that
Had that sound.
song number 7
What the? How do you even know that?
is called Hating, I'm pretty sure. And it starts off very, very much like that.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure it's the exact same distortion pedal and everything. How do I know? I'm a Korn fan.
Yeah, well, that's crazy to know even the song. Which number? I guess
it's
not.
number
I guess
7.
if you love it so much, like, it would be easy to know.
Well, that was one of my favorite songs because of that riff and that setting.
okay.
And
And when you get onto something,
yeah.
like, you're like...
Yeah, so I loved it and it reminded me of that, and I'm like, you know what? Head was probably, because he's the melodic guy in the band, he was probably listening to this shit and going, that shit is tight. I'm taking that shit. And they kept pushing back that record.
Yeah.
I'm like, he stole that shit from whoever this guy is from Tool. I don't even know the guy's name. All right. I wish that little instrumental was longer, to be honest with you. I really liked it.
It was fun, yeah.
How did the instrumental hit you? It was a good transition. It was seamless.
Oh, it was completely seamless. I didn't even know that was in there. It was fun. It was fun to me because it was, you're never going to agree, I'm sure, because every time I say these things, people just get offended. I felt like we were mixing metal and Mayberry, because that little it sounded like something from...
Yeah, you keep saying Mayberry. I don't know what the hell Mayberry is.
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. It was a show that we actually were allowed to watch growing up. It was the Andy Griffith show. It was black and white. Yeah, the Andy Griffith show. And
How did I know?
They lived in Mayberry. It was like this perfect town that barely nothing happened, you know? You know, there was one drunk in the whole town.
Were there any black people in the town?
I believe...
That wasn't a maid or something?
There was
Or
one,
a criminal?
yes. No.
Was she a maid?
Probably. Or maybe it was some homeless person that came through the town. No, I think everybody was white. I never realized that.
So you want to go back to simpler times?
That's how it was in the song. So yeah, it sounded like that. Like they would all hang out, you know, they would...
Just no black people.
No black people. Well, if you had black people, then there would be some fight between the, you know, they said, you can't have any fighting. There was one drunk in the whole town. He'd let himself into the jail. Otis. He'd come and sing, oh... We were allowed to watch that part.
Into the jail?
Yeah, they just would let him in. When he'd get drunk, he wasn't allowed to be drunk in public, so he'd go and let himself in. They'd say, "Oh, Otis is here. Let yourself in." He's just a small town.
Ridiculous.
It was, but all of the episodes were like, they wasn't necessarily comedy, but it was just had a happy, like, simple life sort of feel to it, which I always enjoyed.
What'd you think of The Patient?
Okay, is this from the mom's perspective?
I think it's from both.
Well, I was confused because it said, but I'm still right here, giving blood, keeping... Who was giving blood?
Well,
Oh, the mom.
No.
The son gave blood to his mom?
No, look
What?
at the last line. This paranoid, paralyzed vampire acts a little old. And then in the next line, he says, but I'm still right here giving blood.
So he was giving blood to her?
Well, metaphorically, because she was basically calling herself a vampire. And then in the next line, Maynard's saying, but I'm here giving blood. Meaning, she was sucking the life out of him is what...
Yep. When it says in the chorus,
she was saying,
if there were no reward to reap, no loving embrace to see me through, this tedious path I've chosen here, I certainly would have walked away by now. So, do you think that's Maynard talking?
I don't know. I think that's his mom.
I thought that too, but how could she walk away if she's paralyzed?
I don't know, like quit the faith. Quit her belief in God.
Okay.
because she's looking to an eternal reward in his embrace.
Oh.
God's embrace, because this was before the 10,000 years record.
Right.
So she's still around. So she's holding on to her faith. So she's gonna wait it out. You see what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I was so confused because I thought this just came out.
Lateralis?
Yeah.
No, Lateralis came out before the 10,000 days record where he let her go with
Well,
Wings
that's why I was
Marie and all
confused
that.
when you were saying that you think that Corin took that from them.
No, Lateralis came out like
Because I'm like,
2000.
what the hell is he talking about? This just came out. You know what I said when I went to pick up the CD?
What'd you say? Allahu Akbar.
He said, which Corin record are you looking for? And I was like, oh, the one
Korn.
that, I mean Corin,
Tool.
which Tool record are you looking for? I said, oh, the one that just came out. He goes, oh, there's one that just came out? And I'm like, yeah, yep, apparently. And then, my face is so red, I can't believe I did that. Okay, well guys, I just found out.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm completely serious. I thought it just came out. I thought we were doing something, oh, God.
Cutting edge, bleeding edge. This record is like 2001, May 15, 2001.
Oh my gosh.
That shit is
Oh,
like 17 years old. Yeah, his 17th birthday last month.
oh my word. Wow.
Yeah, but for some reason the guy didn't correct her. I wonder why.
It's like, idiot. Slide your card,
Dumb
man.
butt. Very pretty idiot. Very pretty girl.
First of all, everybody that works there is young, so he's probably like old people.
I don't think that's what was going through the young feller's mind. Yeah, so she's still alive at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well,
And so I think
you know that changes this song a bit.
I think this is her. First verse is her. Second verse is him. Chorus is her.
Okay.
Right? So like,
What was the last line again then? Now let me see that.
which one?
I'm gonna wait it out. Keep rolling. I still. Okay. Okay. That's
Well, I think
interesting.
he's talking about himself there. I think it's going back and forth.
Yeah, but even there.
No, because the last line is, I certainly would have walked away by now. And then it says, I still may.
Yeah, but we said at the beginning that it could be from both of their perspectives. So the walking away could be her giving up. So he doesn't know if she's going to give up. Like, he doesn't figure she probably will.
I don't think... Because what's interesting is that Judith came out around this time too. Like,
Oh, really?
Judith came around 99, 2000. And then this came 2001. I don't think he thought she was ever going to give up. I think if... Because
Yeah, she
remember...
probably didn't show him any sign of weakness.
Right, remember in Judith, he's like, you won't even question. He was pissed at her for not questioning.
Right.
So I think he's talking about himself. He's saying he might just give up and walk away.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
very hard. You're a rock star, you're famous. You could say, let's have a 2-year world tour where he basically could say, hey, I'm on a world tour for 2 years, Mom,
Right,
sorry.
right.
You know what I mean? But that's so that first line where she's talking about tedium, a groan of tedium escapes me.
What's that, tiredness?
Tedium is like,
tedium.
it's not
I think of tedious.
tedious, yeah. It's not difficult. It's just over in the monotony.
Yeah.
It's like, stacking bricks or something, where you just, it's unexciting. It's just a mundane. I'll tell you what, that's one of the things that scares me to death is mundanity. I can't stand it. It scares me. Like sometimes when I really want to terrify myself, I think of those people that just like when you go to a jail. Remember on Lost when they had Kate and what's his face was trapped, Sawyer were trapped, and they made him like move rocks and shit.
Oh, yeah.
You just kill me. I would literally fight those guys. I can't do that shit.
Literally,
I would. I'd say, babe, I love you. I'll see you in another life.
How is
But,
your life not mundane?
Oh, my life isn't mundane at all.
Chicken and rice. Chicken and rice.
Oh, I don't
chicken
care
and
about
rice.
that shit. I mean,
Get up, work. YouTube.
yeah, but work.
Watch a movie.
Yeah, but
go to
YouTube,
bed.
like you're looking at different shit. It's Tool. It could be Vatane. It could be some band I never heard of. It could be Carnival.
Okay, so mentally that you're not mundane, so you're good.
Oh, I can go anywhere with this shit. I can go anywhere. Like YouTube, I love this shit. I could do this shit forever. That's why I want to go full time. Like I could just do this shit forever. Or you get to talk to people. I'm like,
That's
oh,
so
you have
interesting.
You have a fucking problem? Okay, let's talk. Get on camera. We'll talk. And now you're meeting Craig LaFilth and all this shit. Are you kidding
Right.
me? Like, Oh, I love this. I even like work because there's always some challenge, some problem, some drama, some whatever, and something that they're like, oh, let's do this to Vin. Let's, bricks without straw. I love that shit. But just like, take up a rock, put it over here. There are only so many variations of that shit that you can do.
That's why I like hiking, is I like the challenge of it.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't do that.
But it's
So I'll
tedious.
be like, my life is mundane, Vin. Bring me for a hike.
Yeah, you're ridiculous. You live a very fucking exciting life.
Well, but it's like mentally exciting. I want something physically stimulating. Let's go for a run.
So,
Sure.
So, But anyway, the mundane aspect of having to take, that takes a lot of mental toughness when you're caring for a person.
Oh my gosh.
She was paralyzed.
Oh my gosh.
Doing the same shit. Bathroom, blah, blah, feeding.
I was a CNA for a while.
Nah.
I hated that job.
Takes a certain level of mental toughness, man.
Yeah, I hated that job.
But she's looking at it from her perspective. He's looking at it like it must be mundane for her and tedious for her to just live.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
That's true. As much as you would hate to do like all that stuff constantly and have somebody completely reliant on you, it would suck way worse to be the person in the bed.
Yeah, and then be paralyzed and feel like a vampire and feel like you're just sucking the life out of everybody. And the fact of the matter is...
I think about that a lot.
What do you mean?
I've always, ever since I watched the story of Johnny Erickson Tata, and she dove in and then she snapped her neck and she was paralyzed the rest, I always have had this fear that I'm going to get paralyzed and I'm not going to be able to talk. And I'm like, I certainly hope you come in and teach me the Bible. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I would.
I'm like this, I'm like, and then I feel like that people would get, the thing is, I don't want that type of advice, like, when you see somebody in a horrible situation, and you don't want to tell them, like, you want to say, oh my gosh, this is horrible, I'm very sorry that you're in this situation. I don't want people to tell me that, I want you to tell me about that it's still, like, God is still in control of the situation. Like, I want to know about, like, God's sovereignty and, like, his plan, his bigger plan and everything. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that in those situations.
You want to hear that stuff.
I want to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't tell me what everybody else would want to hear. Tell me the truth.
Which is interesting. From what I can piece together from this lady's experience, I mean, subhanAllah, she must have been a saint, was the church was basically saying that she deserved it because she must have done something wrong, because apparently they hadn't developed a theology of redemptive suffering at all. And then Maynard is full of all this anger and doubt and sarcasm and whatever with Judith, so he couldn't spiritually contribute to her. Mm-hmm. He couldn't go there with her. You know what I mean? Until the very end, it seems, of 10,000 days. So she must have had it really, really tough. She must have had it really tough.
Yeah.
That must have been some freaking homecoming for her, man. Golly.
I feel like if you're in a situation like that, like, the Lord must meet with you in a special way. I visited this woman in the hospital, and she was in that situation. She was paralyzed in that bed, and she had a tube in her mouth, so she couldn't talk. I mean, there's only so many questions that you can ask. Blink twice for this. She couldn't really do that. So I literally didn't know. So I just started talking to her and reading her the Bible. And I prayed for her and talked to her some more. And she was crying at parts of it, but you don't know why the person's crying. Is she crying because she's happy that you're teaching her that? Or she doesn't, or maybe she's angry at God at this point and doesn't even want to hear any of it. But you don't know. You don't know where the person's at. Like, I can't imagine that feeling of being in that bed and wanting to be able to, like, let's say she was angry at God and she didn't want to hear any of it. She can't say, shut the fuck up and get out of my room. Like, she just has to lay there and listen to what I have to tell her. Or maybe she was saying, please don't stop telling me this. Keep telling me about the Lord. But you don't know which one way or the other what she wanted.
Minutes,
yes,
yeah.
Please don't stay. Put on a sermon before you go out. You don't know.
You don't know. But I'm still right here. So giving blood, keeping. I'll tell you, going to wait it out and be patient. Again, his intelligence is amazing. Mm-hmm. Talking about being patient, because she's being patient with the Lord, mm-hmm. right? He's being patient.
She's probably being patient with him too.
Right, and he's being patient with her,
mm-hmm.
and he has probably no patience for God at all.
Right.
And then and she is the patient.
Right.
Just brilliant,
Right,
deep,
right.
a lot of depth of there for Maynard.
Oh, you're right.
For sure.
Smart man. Oh, y'all good.
But wait it out. That's like I love that. That's another one where I'm like, oh my god, I love that part of the song. He says, I'm still right here, giving blood, keeping faith. I'm still right here. Wait it out. I'm gonna wait it out. I love how honest he was. He's like, I might not though.
Wow.
When he says, I certainly would have walked away, and then he says, I still may.
Yep.
You know, like, that's whatever happened in between this song and Wings for Marie. At least he was there at the end with her. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
It's so hard when you're taking care of somebody who is almost like irreversibly. I was in a situation with a family member where I had one family member who was much younger than my mom, but was so needy that I couldn't even begin to think about taking care of my mom at all. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously that contributed to my mom's death. And I don't, as much as I know myself, I don't think that I blame myself for that. Because the other person was extremely needy and I was waiting it out with them. Definitely was not the easy road because they were both pretty much the same as far as neediness goes. So, you
Really?
Oh, for sure.
I didn't know your mom was like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, she was. So, I didn't talk about it a lot, but
Yeah, but she would go through phases where she was very, powerful and stuff.
yeah, not toward the end though. Toward the end, it was
oh.
It was pretty steady decline. So you're faced with this like just crazy,
Right. Oh.
And so I was, but I don't know. I mean, even with the other person, I didn't wait forever for the other person either. So
Right.
it's a very interesting song because to me it's like I didn't do that with either one of them, and they're probably gonna both end up the same way if I'm being realistic. So it's a tough song because I remember like being in those moments with the other person. People were like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I know.
There are just two people in my family that needed a ton of attention and a ton of like very tedious, repetitious care. It wasn't a physical malady. It was a mental malady, and the other person, was just you just had to do just a lot of caring and a lot of watching and
Right.
and they're a grown person, but you have to kind of parent them.
Right.
And
Well, if people make choices to stay where they're at and they don't want to do the work to move forward, then it kind of puts you in a situation.
well, he said if there was no desire to heal,
Right.
then I would have walked away by now.
Right.
When you're caring for somebody, if they kind of have a desire to get better, it makes it a lot.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot.
It doesn't
easier.
take all the tediousness, if that's even a word, out of it, but it does make you feel like, okay, like I'm not pouring into a bottomless.
Yeah, that's
Kid
what
right now,
that's what That's what it's like. Of course, with Maynard, it's kind of like he was basically waiting for what, bro?
Right.
She had an irreversible aneurysm. So what are you really waiting for? Because at the end, he's waiting for her to die, basically. Which is
Because it's not like the people, because there are times where God does a miracle and heals somebody, but it doesn't seem like that the people around him were saying that was even a possibility because they're too busy saying she's in sin and that's why she's in that situation.
right, and he didn't believe that, obviously. So so he was waiting out to, So that's a pretty difficult song because
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was,
It's even weird to have this conversation with you. So,
What-
you got to admit it. I mean, if people knew like the details of what I was talking about, they'd be like, "Why the fuck are you saying this to your?"
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, good song. Very, very honest.
I like it when you have conversations with me like that, though. Because then it's like, we're married, but we're still friends. You know? Like, sometimes people get married, but then they're not friends anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So, good song. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's go to the next one. What's the next song?
It's pretty, though. I liked the sound.
Giving